in a lifetime, you can change your careers as much as you want. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the Canada Info channel. My name is Wolo. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant based in New Brunswick, Canada. I used to be a Manitoban, still a Manitoban. I will stop saying this at the end of this year because I'm loving New Brunswick these days because of the weather. It's been cold, but not so cold compared to Manitoba. I said I was going to do an assessment of the weather in Manitoba versus the weather in New Brunswick, but that will be in January when I stop saying used to be a Manitoba. Okay, so if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And I talk about immigration to Canada, life in Canada, and everything that you need to know about Canada. But I'm gearing towards expanding to other countries. I'm hoping that next year will be dedicated to immigrating to different parts of the world. Okay, so to my old subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you for being loyal to this channel. And I see some of you in church. Yeah, okay. So today's video is actually a story. It's not about immigration. I felt that I should share this story so that people can learn one or two things, because that's what a lot of people go through. It's a relatable story, and I just want to share my own story of my experience with wanting to switch careers. And this was because I was actually going through some of my documents. I was trying to organize them, and I saw my admission letter to Brandon University. I was supposed to study psychiatric nursing. I got admission to study psychiatric nursing at the Brandon University in Manitoba, but I decided not to proceed with it. And I just want to give you a brief background of what actually, pushed me into that. As new immigrants, when you come and you are trying to push your career and you start experiencing frustrations, you just want to switch to something else that is stable, something that is well paying. We all like that. We want to make the money, and we look at industries that are well paying, and healthcare is one of the industry that is a well paying industry. So, but in my own case, that was not it. I was not looking at healthcare, but the people around me were suggesting healthcare. And that's one thing that a lot of people do. People recommend careers for people, especially those who are confused about what to do in their careers. Some people just don't know what to do. And then you find people who recommend, oh, go and do nursing, go and do licensed practical nursing. Before you know it, within 2 years, you're done and you start making your money. That's what a lot of people do. And I won't lie to you, even me too, at some point, I also give that kind of advice. But I give it in such a way that I ask you, what do you want for yourself? The thing is, I tell myself the truth. Whenever I'm at a crossroad on what to do with myself, I always tell myself this phrase: Ewolo, to yourself be true. And once I tell myself this phrase, I do a self-assessment of my strengths and weaknesses. And then once I do the analysis, I make a decision on what to do. But in this situation, what happened was I started my job. I don't know whether I've said the story of how I got my job within 2 weeks of arriving in Canada. The first one. From there, I moved on to another job. And it was a fantastic one. And within 2 months of starting that new job, there were layoffs, and they fired some people in my presence. And the really annoying thing about it was the layoffs. Once the layoffs just happened, I just got discouraged. I was just like, I cannot continue like this, because I had thought that Canada would be different when it comes to, stability, especially with jobs, but it was not so. And I was just tired. That's just what I would say. I was just tired of, wanting to push yourself, and then you're entering a system, and next thing they are laying people off. So I just had to do an analysis. Okay, which career does not experience layoffs? Which career would you find yourself that you would always have jobs, and there will always be demand for people? And healthcare was the only thing that was jumping at me. If you recall one of my stories that I mentioned, I almost went to study medicine. this period was actually the period because a lot of things was just going on, and I was just telling myself, I'm tired of all this instability. You move here, next thing they are laying people off, next thing they are firing people, next thing. I was just tired, so I just wanted to switch careers to something very stable, to an industry that is very stable. And I didn't want to go into tech because there was demand for tech. Everybody was saying, go do business analysis, go do this, go do project management, blah blah blah. I wasn't cut out for that. I was cut out for something more stable. Even the tech industry is going through its own cycle of, layoffs. The FANG companies, that's Facebook, Amazon, which was again, and Apple and Google, Netflix, they are going through their own cycle of layoffs. And at that point, I just felt healthcare was the only industry that you hardly find layoffs. So I felt, okay, let me transition to nursing. And I quickly went to secure admission at the Brandon University. I did analysis, and I felt maybe if I would do nursing, to have to be psychiatric nursing. I was just fascinated about what makes people go off balance, It's another story for another day. My fascinations are kind of weird. Anyway, I was fascinated about it. I just wanted to know why people, go crazy upstairs. So I went to secure admission for psychiatric nursing. But after I got the admission, I just had to sit down and did a lot of analysis. I did a self-assessment, a thorough self-assessment of myself and my skills. And I felt that I wasn't cut out to be a nurse. The reasons why I felt that was because I am so empathetic, such that when somebody is suffering, I feel like carrying the burden of the suffering from the person. And if I see, I can't see myself in a hospital because I'll feel so empathetic that I cannot even walk. When somebody is suffering and the person is looking at you, and you want to carry the suffering, and you want to cry for the person, that kind of person, that is who I am. So I just felt, I don't think I can survive working in the hospital. I don't think I can survive seeing people suffer. I don't think I can survive being in the confines of people who might make it out alive and people who might not make it out alive. So I just had to give myself a break. And during that period, I gave myself a 1-year break. I had to defer the admission for 1 year to think thoroughly about that, to do a thorough self-assessment if I really wanted to do nursing or not. And after that 1-year break, or during the 1-year break, was when I was doing my YouTube videos and all of that. And I felt that I enjoyed immigration. I felt I enjoyed talking about life in Canada and all of that. And a lot of people were encouraging me that since you have passion for this, why don't you just go get your license? And that was it. I used the period to get my license. And then when the 1-year period for going back to start nursing came up, I just told them that I wasn't going to start classes and all of that. So that was how I forgot about the aspect of wanting to become a nurse in Canada. So if you find yourself in this situation of uncertainties, instability, and I just want to also mention that some people do not really want to do nursing because they are really called to do nursing. Some people do it because of the money. Some people do it because of stability. Like I said, the healthcare industry is one industry that is very, very stable in terms of career. So people are looking for stability. And if you're called out to be a nurse, you can go ahead and be a nurse. For me, I don't think I can be a nurse. I never did anything called support work, care work. I never did any of those. So I don't see myself thriving in that area or being satisfied in that area. If the money is satisfactory, yes, but I don't see myself being 100% fulfilled in that area. That was why I just decided to let the admission go. But if you feel that you'll be fulfilled in nursing, please go ahead and do nursing. In a lifetime, you can change your careers as much as you want. But before you switch to any career in Canada, you have to do a self-assessment. Do a thorough assessment of yourself and tell yourself the truth. Are you going in for the money? Are you going in for the money, or you're going in for because you find fulfillment helping people, caring for people, and enjoying the job in general without being stressed about it? So this is information I said I was going to share. It's not an immigration information. It's just a story. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.
Oh Canada, oh Canada.